Welcome back. It's that time to look at AMC again, and the fortunes for this stock in the past 2 days certainly have changed. What we're looking at now is a day where AMC is up by 2% at the time of filming. The data is looking terrific, and of course on top of that we had a very good day yesterday. Now I want to tie this all in from our last video to where we are now and look at the comparisons that we have alongside of course the Ortex data that we are seeing. So we're going to jump straight into that. It's going to be a relatively short video, but we will cover all that we want and need to. Again, if you guys do enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you can. But yes, let's now jump in. So what we're seeing for today so far, like I did mention, is a day where we are green. Now we certainly have seen higher points in the day, coming up to the price of $12.75 at the highs this morning, but yeah, we are dropping a bit since there. Now, really we started to bottom out around $12 exactly, which is good, and now we are just hovering in that just above $12 range, so we're hoping to keep 12 for today. Again, the past 5 days, whilst the picture is still looking a bit grim, as we are basically neutral, if not a little bit red, we are definitely coming out of that hole again now, where we went down as low as nearly $10. So we're seeing a very good improvement, and I'm very happy to see that. In the past month, what we're seeing is volume today, which is not really extraordinary, and the same can be said for yesterday. It really was quite average volume, but that is not really something which we should not pay attention to, because the volume that we're seeing of 55 million per day on the last 2 days or so is still very significant for one simple reason. Looking at what we're seeing for the Ortex data, which is coming from Ortex Guy, JD Ruckus on Reddit, we're still in a position where a lot of shares are on loan. And again, pointing back to the synthetics argument that we have, why is it possible that AMC float can be turned over at such a rapid rate? If you ask me, it doesn't make sense. Now, we will get into those Ortex figures in just a moment, but I want to have a look at how the generalized markets are doing for today. Now, what we're seeing is a green day across a lot of the markets. We're seeing the S&P being up and the Dow is in the same position. So clearly AMC is moving alongside that trend, which is not a bad thing at all, but just be aware that the market is green. So the fact that AMC is running up isn't necessarily an outlier to the overall market conditions. Now getting into that juicy data from JD Ruckus, as I said, it comes and it says this. Ortex Guy here with your update for the midday of today. This was posted 1 hour ago, by the way. And it says, so the short interest is mid-22, shares on loan at an all-time high, and utilization is at 100% for the 76th day running. The cost to borrow and the days to cover still rising as well, and the current mood is saying one thing, that once I threw away a boomerang, now I live in fear. So I guess what he's saying there is it's coming back to bite them. So we'll have a look at both of the pages if we can, and you can see the first one is down here. We'll click on that one to make it bigger, and then we will go and have a look at the second one too. Now, we will actually have a look at this one first, the more generalized page, and it shows us what we're looking at for today. So, estimated short interest change plus 0.33. Return shares being 133k, borrowed being 1.7 million, so we still have a borrowed change of plus 933k. The Ortex estimated SI of the free float is 22.5%, with the number of shares being estimated to be the SI being at 115 million. The cost to borrow minimum is actually quite steep alongside the maximum. We've seen a minimum figure of 3.5, a maximum figure of 10.49, and an average, so again this is what most people are paying, of 7.79. That really is a steep increase, and we want to see this sort of details, or these sorts of details, continue to rise and be at least remain where they are for the time being. Now, this is the second page that we have to look at. The short score is 71.43 for those interested. We have a little look at what other data may be important. And for this one, I do want to start towards the bottom of the page. Now again, utilization hasn't changed at all because it cannot go higher than 100%. Cost to borrow is currently risen by a significant portion, by 22% in the past 7 days. And again, this is why I was quite astounded by that minimum figure, or even the maximum figure compared to what we're seeing 7 days ago. It really is a steep increase. If it keeps going that way, it definitely is going to put some pressure on the shorts, if you ask me. Now, the days to cover, we're still looking at that being a change of plus 6.78, and the shares on loan is changed by plus 6.75. And of course the free float is in a similar position when it comes to change of the free float on loan, and the Ortex estimated short interest as a percentage has increased by 1.95. Now the value of this has gone down by 5% for those interested, but that is the generalized data that we have. So there you have it. Another day where AMC is looking fairly good. Again, the price action today, in my opinion, it's not bad, but it definitely could be better. Going forwards, I'm happy to see this one hold 12 today, that would be ideal. I think we're still in that great place that we want to find ourselves in. But once more, the markets are moving up as a whole today, so please don't get your hopes up too much, but I think the data, especially the cost to borrow data, is looking very good. And of course, the number of shares on loan is simply ridiculous if you ask me at this point. And for that reason, I am feeling very, very optimistic. But I want to hear your thoughts, of course, down below. I'll see you guys in another video fairly soon, so goodbye for this one.